Hey guys, Nathan from Barron's Auto Detailing here. Today I'm going to be cleaning this Maserati Ghibli. It's a four-door sedan with some serious power under the hood. So as you can see, these rims are pretty gross. They're essentially a charcoal matte black right now, but that's just how much brake dust is on there. These have pretty big Maserati, I'm pretty sure that's like a 6-piston brake, and they're actually a light silver color. So we're going to get those cleaned up and you'll see the results. So just to give you a little bit better of an idea about how dirty these actually are, I'm going to zoom in here. So that's how dirty they actually are. Now I know some of you are going to be like, oh, you're touching the brake dust and you're scratching the rim. To put it into perspective, that's not doing anything. It's driving down the road is going to scratch it more than that. So let's get started. So I've got Meguiar's Wheel Brightener as my wheel cleaner today, and I'm also going to be using Forma Car Care all-purpose cleaner, which is a very strong all-purpose cleaner, so I'm going to dilute it down a little bit. I've got it diluted down 4 to 1 because these wheels are pretty dirty. And then in here I've got my wheel woolie, a stiff wheel brush for the tires, and then a flag tip brush for the rims to get into any of the smaller areas like in the lug nut holes or kind of behind some of the spokes. So now my first step, I'm going to hose down the wheel well to knock off any of the heavy debris, and then after that, then I'll go ahead and hose down the tire, and then we'll get to work. So you want to, like I said, hose down the wheel well to get any of the heavy debris off. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but all this junk just came off. So that's why it's important. So take a look at all of that brake dust just dripping down the driveway. So that right there, that brake dust dripping off of the wheel with just water, is why it's important to clean your wheels when you have these high-end brakes. Another thing to keep in mind, now this wheel is steaming a little bit. It's just kind of cold out right now. I let it sit for about 15 minutes before cleaning, but you always want to make sure you're starting with a cold wheel. Otherwise you can do what's called flashing the rim. And that just happens when you apply a cleaner to the rim, and then it changes the makeup of the metals, and it can sometimes ruin the finish. So now that we have sprayed it down and gotten some of that heavy gunk off, what we can do is take our all-purpose cleaner / degreaser, whatever you're using. Depends on how dirty your tires are. You might not need a degreaser, but you're going to go ahead and spray down the tire. And it's okay if this gets on the rim. It's okay. It's made so it's not going to hurt the metal. And then you're just going to scrub. And you want it to foam up. see it's going to start to turn brown, and that's any leftover tire shine that might be coming off. God, these are very gross. So this is the first details that his customers had with me, and once we get this dialed in, then he's going to be having maintenance details done. So this will be the first of many details, but once we get a basic cleaning done, then it'll be a lot easier from then on out. And this tire is very dirty. You can see that the all-purpose cleaner is turning almost gray. And that's just a ton of brake dust and old tire shine that needs to be cleaned off. And then this brush actually that I'm using right now is from Detailed Image. It's their wheel cleaning brush. It's got pretty stiff bristles, so that really allows you to agitate the wheel surface. And then if you did have an SUV, you could also go in prior to doing the tire and brush down the wheel wells, but being that this is a exotic car, it's a little bit lower than a normal car, so you don't have a lot of room. And I was able to get basically all of the dirt off with my hose. So now I'm just gonna, because this is so dirty, I'm gonna spray it down again. And just look at all of that dirt coming off again. And that was all that was on the tire, and I'm actually probably gonna do it again just to perfect it. Probably should have done that away from my tools, but now let's see how dirty it is the second time around. Usually you only need to do one round, but this is just so dirty and it really needs it. So it's not as bad this time around. But we're just going to perfect it and keep going. Another thing that's important is try to get onto a little bit of the tread. You don't have to clean the entire tread, but that way when you want to go and apply your tire shine, you're applying it to a clean surface and not a dirty surface. Still kind of dirty down here. I must have missed a little bit of that. You guys, this is why you want to clean your tires after you apply tire shine each time. So if you apply tire shine and it looks like it's gone, still clean it before you reapply, because then you're going to start to develop a thick layer of grease and it's harder to clean off. So this was just recently purchased. It's a 2014 Maserati Ghibli, as I said. But the owner had just purchased it from the dealer. And when this was sitting in the dealer was probably... I'm sorry, there's a truck going by. But the dealer was probably applying tire shine after every test drive that it went on. So you get this thick grease on there, and it's really important to get off. Alright, so we'll wash it off one more time, and then we'll start cleaning the actual rim. So now I'm going to take my wheel cleaner and I'm going to spray down the entire wheel. You can get it in the lug nut holes. Make sure you get behind there as well. You really want to just spray down the entire surface. And because this is so dirty, I'm going to let it sit for a couple minutes. Usually with an acid-based wheel cleaner you don't want to let it sit, but this wheel is very dirty, so I'm going to let it sit for a minute or so. And then I'll spray some more on, and then we'll go ahead and start scrubbing. So, and normally you wouldn't also need this much wheel cleaner, but because it's so dirty, we're gonna go ahead and do that. You can see just all of this. I mean, the wheel is already looking pretty good from where it started. It was black, now it's silver, and you can see just along these, the face of the rim, it's just dripping off, and you're getting some drip right there. But you just want to let the cleaner work a little bit on a heavily soiled rim like this, and then once it does its work, then you can get to work. I typically would not recommend letting this sit, especially in the sun. You don't want to let it sit for more than a minute or so. But like I said, this is a very, very dirty rim. And that just is because of the fact that it's these giant brakes on here. It's high performance brakes. I mean, this is a 6-cylinder bi-turbo, so you got some power behind it, and you want to make sure that you're going to be able to stop with a car like this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to spray some more on there just to get a little bit extra cleaning power, and then we'll start cleaning. So you want to start from the top down, and you want to try and get to the back of that wheel. See how much brake dust is on there? And that's why I've got my wheel bucket right here. This is specifically for wheels that I'm going to just dunk this in and get a lot of that off there. And if you could see this, you would see that it's very gross in this bucket, just with one spoke. You can see that brake dust just coming off, and this is after. Remember, this is after I've rinsed it down with water. I don't think I've ever seen a wheel this dirty. Just look at all of that black just dripping off of the tire. This is why you gotta maintain your cars, guys. Usually cleaning a wheel, even one that's a high-end wheel like this, doesn't take very long, but once it gets very dirty like this, it takes time. So I try to get in those lug nut holes. Sometimes I'll even, depending on how deep they are, I'll take a toothbrush and just get in there with that. So now I'm gonna spray this wheel off, just so we can kind of clean up the working environment, because this is a mess. And once again, that black just dripping off of the wheel, you can see it firsthand. And that, I mean, that's after cleaning it. I'm even gonna spray some of this all-purpose cleaner on here just to get some more cleaning power, because this is really bad. And with big brakes like these, if, like I said, I think I might have said this before, you can honestly just take a toothbrush and kind of get into the smaller crevices of the caliper. Usually that works well. I'll probably do that after the video, just to save you guys from having to wait for me to get one, not have to edit anything out. So as far as the video goes, that's how you clean a wheel. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll have a picture at the end of this video so you can just see the finished outcome of the vehicle. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and then go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well, @Barron's Auto Detailing. Thanks guys.